Brought to you by ListerPros TV, streaming from Tempe, Arizona. And we're live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, Jordan here, host of Real Estate Pros on ListerPros TV, and today we're in Tucson, Arizona with a special guest, Remi Aguila of Long Realty. So thanks for taking time out of your busy day to join us here at Stewart Title in Tucson, Arizona.
Thank you very much, Jordan.
And we'll give you a couple minutes to introduce yourself, a little bit about your background, how long you've been in real estate, what interested you in getting into real estate.
Yeah, so I've been in Tucson for 12 years now. I'm starting my third year in real estate next year, and really I'm really enjoying the personal aspects of sales. I've got a pretty strong sales background, having been in sales and marketing most of my career. I decided to join Long Realty about 2 years ago, and really enjoying the atmosphere there too. It's a great team environment. People are very cooperating, which was one of the things I wasn't quite sure about real estate. But really surprised positively with that.
So you're starting, so this is going to be your third year in 2018. So what did you do prior to real estate?
So I was a sales and marketing VP for a smaller mining technology company. Before that, I was a sales manager for a much bigger mining technology company.
So has the skill set going from that environment into real estate, has that translated, or what are the biggest differences or biggest things that were kind of a surprise when you transition into more of the relationship people versus systems and technology or whatever you were doing previously?
Well, the skill set transferred pretty well, actually. The sales part of things, obviously, you're dealing with people and their personal motivations. In business-to-business sales, you still would deal with people, but it's going to be a business-to-business environment where the motivators are coming from their company. In real estate, obviously, you're selling somebody a house. It's a big deal for them. So dealing with their personal drivers was the big change, but the process itself is the same. And then on the transaction side, to make sure that things go smoothly, that's a pretty straight transition from our project work I used to do.
And from a sales, so you said you're in sales and marketing. What are some of the things that you've been able to introduce into your real estate, specifically around marketing? So how you're marketing properties. What are some of the things that have helped you in selling more real estate?
Well, for me, it's a lot about communication. It's a lot about making sure you follow up with people. It's amazing when you hear that some people don't call back people when they leave a message. It's simple things like that that make a lot of difference, in my opinion. Making sure that you communicate well, that you share the information and the data, and being able to present the data, because let's face it, now we're dealing with a lot of data in this business.
Sure.
People are a lot more knowledgeable about it. They can find all the information they want online themselves. So being able to be proactive and showing that information along with some context with it so that they understand it, not just presenting with data, but giving information. Right,
and that's a good point because there's, technologies out there, it's easy to get a lot of information. So at the end of the day, what value does the real estate agent bring, when there's Zillow and other things out there, from a buyer or a seller perspective?
Mm-hmm. I honestly think websites like Zillow are a great add-on to the business. I think they bring a lot of information to people, and people want information. They want to have a feeling they're in control of what they're doing. The challenge with Zillow and the other platforms like that is that there's not a lot of local content and a lot of local information about things. Facing one way or another can be a big difference, especially in the foothills or Oro Valley. If you're facing Pudge Ridge and Oro Valley, that's a big difference in value. If you have a west-facing yard, they're nice sunset, but people often don't like the heat coming from the sun here in Tucson. So those are the type of things that online systems don't really bring. And having somebody who knows the area, who knows what people want and don't want, really helps a lot.
Right. And what are some of the things that you love the most about living here in Tucson? You've lived here for 13 years. Where did you live previously?
So in order, I was in Montreal. Before that, I was in England. Before that, I was in Toronto. Before that, I was in Edmonton, Alberta. Before that, I was in the northern end of Baffin
So
Island.
it sounds like you got tired of the cold weather.
Pretty much, yeah. So what I love about here, you can, it's a summer-ish weather pattern for us Northerners most of the time. I doesn't show it right now, but I cycle a lot. I cycle a lot. I do a lot of skydiving, and those two activities are prime here. We've got Tucson is a huge cycling town,
Oh, yeah.
both road and mountain. The largest skydiving center in the world is just up the road here, Skydive Arizona in Eloy. So for us, recreational skydiver, it's a great place to
I've
be.
never done skydiving. I'm a pilot, but I've never done skydiving. I would love to do that sometime. I've been a cyclist for a long time.
Yeah.
Have you done Mount Lemmon?
If I can get away from doing Mount Lemmon, I get away from it because even if I like cycling, I'm not a climber.
See, I was going to say we have a common bond there because
Yeah.
I've been up there. It's a
long
challenge.
Climb. It's a long climb, and if you're not a climber, it's long for a long time.
Yeah, long time. You're like, all right, when is this mountain gonna chill out a little bit? And it just keeps going. Anyways, awesome. So if there's a brand, so you've been in the business for almost three years from now, or starting your third year next year. If there's a brand new agent getting into the business today, what is some advice that you'd give them to be able to find success early in their business? Maybe talk about some of the struggles that you may have had early in your real estate career.
I would say focus on meeting people, focus on getting engaged with people. Don't be shy about what you are as a real estate agent. Depending on your background, I know it's something I had a little bit of getting over, that I had to get over a little bit. There is sometimes a bit of a negative connotation of being a real estate agent. Unfortunately, there's people out there giving us a bad reputation. So don't be shy to tell your friends, tell your family, tell the people you know that it's your business. You're doing this seriously. You're not doing this as a pastime, and that you're there to help them understand the process and make sure that their home purchase or home selling process goes as smoothly as possible.
So let's talk about some of the main drivers of your business. We know that different real estate agents can take different approaches to their real estate business on as far as how they're growing it. Some can just focus exclusively on their sphere of influence only. Some can do just cold leads off of Zillow or whatever. What are those drivers for your business?
So about 60% of my business comes from friends, family. Well, not family because I don't have any family here, but friends and then friends of my wife. My wives. So about 60% of my business comes from there, from Sphere. About a quarter comes from internet leads. I'm part of a group within Long Realty that handles internet leads that come to Long Realty. So we're again, last year I did about 25% of my transactions have been that. And the few that are left are a combination of referral from other agents, open house business, the oddball lead that come from someplace else. Yeah.
Sure. So it sounds like the majority of your business does come from your referrals of your sphere of influence. So what specific activities do you do to stay in front? Because some agents may say, great, I want to stay in front of my sphere of influence, but I don't know what activities are most effective. So what activities do you do, and what are the things that you found to be most effective in staying in front of people?
So it's pretty straightforward, but telling your friends you're a realtor. Just giving them a call to say, hey, I've decided to change my career, or I've been in this for a while. Reminding them that you're in real estate. People forget, because as important as you think you are, sometimes people don't have you in front of mind. So calling them once in a while just to touch base with them and remind them. I'm pretty active on social media. I don't post real estate stuff on my personal page all the time, but once in a while I'll post something that's real estate related. Again, just to remind them. I've got a pretty active business page, but Facebook being what it is these days, those posts are pretty much hidden unless you boost them or promote them. I do a bit of that too, but typically when I promote my posts that are on my business page, they go out to people I don't know. I don't need to spend money to tell my friends that I'm in real estate. I can do that myself.
Right.
It's the people I don't know that I want to reach out when I do my promotion.
So let's talk a little bit about that part, because if you're focused on that, what pieces of content have you found to work the most with people that you don't know? Because, you know, whether is it a video, is it a photo, what kind of caption, what kind of results are you, or what kind of posts are getting you the best results?
So I've had mixed results overall. I need to do more videos. You know, I was just in the car coming here, and NPR was running a piece on, I can't remember what the subject was, but they actually talked about millennials are averaging 3.5 hours of video download daily.
Wow.
Daily. So there's a lot of video demand online, and I think I know I need to do more video. I just don't do enough of it. And by far, when I've done little videos, those have had the greatest number of interactions with people online. Yeah.
And so, I mean, there's a whole lot of strategy around, you know, if you post a video, how are you doing it? Are people just commenting? Like maybe, are you interested in buying a home in Phoenix or in Tucson? And then they make a comment and then you just interact from there? Or is it like learn now and you go to like a landing page? How are you trying to convert the leads?
I try to combine everything.
Yeah.
So every time I make a post or a link that asks for information, I try to lead them to a funnel page so that they can enter their information for follow-up. But if they like my page or if they like my comment, my videos or my posts, or they make a comment, I'll try to immediately get back to them just to check with them to see what their status is, if they're looking or just curious.
But that's smart, you know, trying to capture their information. It does no good if somebody just you reach them, but you don't have that call to action to actually try to get to the result. So
at one point I think on Facebook having a like was great, and woohoo, somebody clicked on your thing. But the point of marketing and the point of spending money is to get leads, right?
Right.
I'm not trying to trick people to do business with me, but I'm trying to get the information so I can find their information. I can find what they're looking for and what's driving them.
Right. And obviously, you want to get results too and help those people, and that's the way to do that. So cool. So outside of social media, internet leads, referrals, are there any other pieces of your business that really make it easier to maybe manage all your sphere of influence systems?
So as part of the internet team that I mentioned with Long, we use a CRM called Boomtown. It does a pretty decent job at managing contact interaction. Obviously, it tracks email contact, and it allows you to do some follow-up and some measurement of whether or not you've contacted somebody or how many people you've contacted in a set period of time. Same with phone calls. That's pretty much the only customer side of platform I use. I'm an engineer too, so I like numbers. So I keep all my stuff in an Excel, and I manage my business side of things on that side. Those are my two big tools.
So that's also on the transaction side. So when you have buyers and sellers that you're working with, you manage them on an Excel spreadsheet.
As far as the data that's part of it.
Right.
As far as the actual transaction, I've got a cheat sheet. Basically, it's a bunch of check marks based on. I do use an Excel because it's pretty straightforward and easy. I've looked at different platforms and I didn't see a lot of value that they were adding. Insightly does some things well, but not others, and so in the end, I just used a colleague's Excel sheet actually and modified it so that it pre-populates a bunch of things. So you enter your sell date and it will auto-populate all the time frames for everything. You can modify them, obviously, if there's a change in inspection period, for example. But, yeah.
Sure. And awesome. Also, what was I going to ask you? So your biggest aha getting into real estate, was there anything that was surprising when you're like, I definitely wasn't expecting that? Or I think a lot of people, this is what happens. They say, I'm going to get into real estate. I go to real estate school. I didn't really learn anything about the real estate business. I just learned about rules in real estate.
So I've got to give a big prop to Long Realty. They do a really good job of following up real estate school with a sales academy, more or less. For about 2 weeks, we go through a lot of sales strategies and how to generate business, how to follow up, all the tools we have. We actually have a lot of tools that we can use internally. So they do a great job of that. In the end, this business is not hard. It's work. You have to work, and you have to work at it. but there's nothing that's part of the sales process or the transaction process that's impossible to master. It's all little things you have to do right to do it properly, and as long as you have a good focus on what you need to do right, it's not a bad place to be. It's not a bad business to be in. It's fun.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you taking time out of your busy day, Remi, to be on Real Estate Pros today. If somebody's watching and they're interested in buying or selling their home or want to pick your brain, maybe another real estate agent, how do people get a hold of you?
Well, there's a few different ways. Probably the easiest and the quickest is to either text me or call me, 520-213-6011. But if you look online, Remi Aguila, Aguila, there's not too many of us in Tucson. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, although Twitter I don't use much.
How about Snapchat? You on Snapchat?
No, I'm not. I downloaded it. I never got into it. I've got enough with those three.
You got your hands full.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for being on the show.
Of course.
And we will see you guys on the next episode.
Thanks.